Hey, thanks for joining me. A couple quick stories for you today. Kia and Hyundai warned 485,000 SUV owners to park outside due to fire risk. And I was actually surprised these weren't electric vehicles. The problem is caused by contamination in an anti-lock brake controller module. Of course, we all know what that is. I've actually got one in my pocket. Hold on. It's in my other jacket, or I'll show you what they look like. Let's get into this. Hyundai and Kia have issued a recall for nearly, that's almost 500,000 vehicles, and a handful of 485,000 SUVs and a handful of sedans due to the risk of engine bay fires, warning owners to park their vehicles outside until the repair work has been completed. The problem affects 126,747 Kias, certain K900 sedans from model years 2016 to 2018, and all Sportage SUVs from model years 2014 to 2016. Hyundai has a bigger task as it's recalling 357,830 vehicles split between the Santa Fe, and I'm not going to read the gory details here. You can check these out if you hear your vehicle listed here. Santa Fe, just a few model years for that. The Santa Fe Sport, just a few model years for that as well. And only certain ones. So I encourage you, if you have one of these, read the details here because it's not all of them. Santa Fe XL, looks like only one model year, and a Tucson, which only a couple model years, which are several, 5, 6, 7 years old by now. The problem in Hyundai's case is an anti-lock brake controller module that can overheat and cause a fire in the engine bay. The first problem was flagged in September 2020 and involved a Canadian Hyundai Tucson with an overheated ABS module, although initial investigations were inconclusive. Then in July 2021, a US spec Santa Fe Sport showed a similar problem leading to further study. In late 2021, Hyundai discovered that the problem is likely due to an internal micro leak in the module caused by caused by foreign contaminants in the valve body. Foreign contaminant. Hyundai and Kia say the owners of affected cars should park them outside until the recall has been conducted. The process will involve replacing an ABS fuse and potentially the ABS module if inspection shows it is damaged. Or that little robot from Wall-E will come through and clean the foreign contaminant off, right? So that's not good. Obviously, you don't want that to happen. Read through this. I'll link to this below as always. Read through the gory details. Make sure you don't have one of these vehicles, and if you do, take all the necessary precautions. You don't need your car starting on fire. Definitely not while you're in it, or certainly not burning your house down. So, secondly, today, Warner Media sued for streaming. Lost it. Hold on, let me get this back for y'all. I pulled the tab out of the window. It just jumped out of there. There we go. Am I back? There we are. Warner Media sued for streaming Matrix Resurrections on HBO Max. Village Roadshow claims the film's simultaneous theatrical and HBO Max release is a breach of contract. I'm surprised we haven't had more stories about like this. Village Roadshow Entertainment Group is suing its Matrix Resurrections co-producer Warner Brothers, claiming the film's simultaneous release in theaters and on Warner Media-owned HBO Max is a breach of contract, according to a complaint filed on Monday in Los Angeles Superior Court. Village Roadshow also alleged that Warner Brothers delayed the movie's release from 2021 to 2022 to help attract more streaming subscribers. Well, I think Warner Brothers would say they delayed it to improve theater releases, theater goers. If they wanted to attract more streaming subscribers, they would have released it at the height of the pandemic, assuming the movie was ready. So that doesn't make sense. Quote, the hit to The Matrix Resurrections box office returns was not the result of just the cannibalization from streaming, but from the rampant piracy it knew would come by distributing this marquee picture on a streaming platform on the same day as its theatrical release. End quote, the suit said. Quote, the cumulative result was devastating, because the movie would have done so well, apparently, is what they're claiming here. It really damaged the numbers here. As part of its pandemic plan, Warner Brothers last year released 17 major films, including Dune, which was a great hit from what I hear, Space Jam, which was not. Godzilla vs. Kong, and Tom and Jerry, simultaneously in theaters and on HBO Max at no extra cost. The only catch, movies were available to stream for only 1 month, after which consumers had to pony up at the cinema or wait for a future digital release. Well, I'm sure that did hurt theater sales. It's hard to argue with that. The move, according to Village Roadshow, is nothing more than, quote, a clandestine plan to materially reduce box office and correlated ancillary revenue generated from tentpole films. I almost got through that without messing up. The suit said, quote, in exchange for driving subscription revenue for the new HBO Max service, for which only Warner Media would be the sole beneficiary. You're stealing our money. Village Roadshow believes Warner Brothers inflicted serious harm to the entire Matrix franchise. From what I hear about the movie, I think the movie has done that without any help from any release vectors. Some would say the movie itself has quote inflicted serious harm to the entire Matrix franchise, but I digress, causing quote abysmal box office sales and the inevitable end to a popular sci-fi action series. So they're saying this killed the Matrix franchise outright. They had all these movies set up apparently that were going to be great, and since they had such a terrible showing, and it's all Warner Brothers' fault. Okay, we have no doubt that this case will be resolved in our favor, Warner Brothers told The Verge in a statement, calling the lawsuit, quote, a frivolous attempt by Village Roadshow to avoid their contractual commitment to participate in the arbitration that we commenced against them last week. I can't imagine this wasn't part of a contract. How did they not know this was going to be, when this was going to be released and where? Warner Brothers returns to a dedicated theatrical release schedule in 2022, but also promised 10 HBO Max exclusives to entice more subscribers to the streaming service. Black Widow star Scarlett Johansson set a precedent last year when she sued Disney over the same-day release of her Marvel superhero film on Disney Plus and in cinemas, potentially denying her a big box office paycheck. So this was about her pay from this movie was apparently, at least part of it, tied to how big the movie was in the box office. So put it on Disney Plus along with putting it in theaters. You may get Disney Plus subscriptions out of it, but none of that goes to Scarlett Johansson. So that was her complaint. The suit was settled a month later, though terms of the deal were not disclosed. Well, there you go. That's interesting. I think places are starting to open up more. Even in California, they're starting to discuss doing away with mask mandates and that kind of thing. So I think things are going to get back to normal, but I don't think the theater industry, and I'm not an expert, but it doesn't seem like they are going to ever go completely back to normal the way things were. Are these dual releases here going to become more normal? They've gone away from them for now, but we'll have to see. Anyway, thanks for watching. You guys have a good day, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.